The Meghalaya police on Monday confirmed that Indore resident Raja Raghuvanshi was murdered during his honeymoon in the state, allegedly at the behest of his wife, Sonam Raghuvanshi. Sonam was traced to a roadside eatery in Ghazipur of Uttar Pradesh on Monday and was taken into custody after a multi-day search as she went missing after the incident. This followed the shocking discovery of Raja's semi-decomposed body at the bottom of a gorge near the Vaisavdong Falls.
The murder that had India shocked and hooked. A newly married couple on their honeymoon in Meghalaya reported missing. Then the bloodied body of the husband shows up and all hell breaks loose. The sensational murder plot now unravels. Sonam, the wife who surrendered in UP's Ghazipur, thousands of kilometers away from Shillong, where the couple were on their honeymoon, is now the prime accused in the murder of her husband, Raja Raghuvanshi. Sonam allegedly had an affair with Raj Kushwaha, who worked at her father's factory in Indore in MP. Kushwaha is now believed to be the mastermind behind the murder. According to the police, Kushwaha hired contract killers Anand, Akash and Vicky, all around 20 years of age, to kill Raja.
Autopsy report indicates that there was two gashes on the head, and these by sharp weapons and all that, and that led to the death. There's no doubt that Sonam is that she's not involved. She is very much involved out there.
Details that have emerged are shocking, to say the least. Sonam and Raja had an arranged wedding, and Raja's family say that all was well and nothing appeared suspicious at first.
कभी लगा नहीं हम लोगों को, तो सोनम और राजा किसी में ऐसा कुछ लग रहा है कि सोनम और राजा को दुखी है, कि इस प्रकार से हमको ऐसे कुछ संदेह लगा नहीं, क्योंकि 11 तारीख को शादी हुई थी और 13 तारीख के दिन जेठ का महीना लग गया था। तो सोनम जो है, सोनम के सामने हम लोग कभी गए नहीं उस टाइम पे, तो हमको ऐसा लगा भी नहीं उस टाइम पे, और ना राजा के मुझसे सुनने को मिला हमारे को, तो भैया मैं दुखी हो गया हूँ शादी करके, इस टाइप की बातें निकली नहीं मन से अभी।
Sonam allegedly planned the trip to Shillong. She wore all her wedding gold and also got Raja to wear gold worth 10 lakh rupees. Sonam wanted to make the killing appear like an accident or a robbery. Her call records and CCTV footage from their hotel helped the police crack the case. After the crime, Sonam lost contact with the killers and ran away. It still isn't clear how she reached Ghazipur in UP, from where she called her family, who asked her to surrender.
मैं खुद 17 दिनों से सोया नहीं हूँ, मैं जाग रहा हूँ 17 दिनों से। आप लोग ऐसा क्यों पूछ रहे हो? मैं 17 दिनों से जाग रहा हूँ।
17 दिनों से गायब थी, इसकी खबर थी आपको?
नहीं थी, मैं ढूंढ रहा हूँ 17 दिनों से। उनने
17 दिनों से आपने क्या क्या किया है?
पूरा सर्च करा है, पुलिस वालों के साथ घुमा हूँ, पूरा सर्च करा है, पूरा मेघालय सर्च करा है हमने।
The case grabbed national headlines, first as missing couple and then as murder, because it threatened to dent state's image as a tourist place. Everybody was looking upon this case with sympathy, but now as the picture is getting cleared, everybody's heart been breaking along with the state's image. If we talk about Sonam's family, they are not ready to accept the truth about their child. But if we talk about Raja's family, they are asking for CBI investigation.
As a state and as a tourism sector, we also learn from these things, and we also try to ensure that we make our people feel more safe. So therefore, there is no fact, there was no reason for this kind of a damage that was done to us, but we will now go a step further. We will also take our steps and measures to ensure that more and more safety measures to make our tourists feel more at home, more comfortable, in spite of the fact that there was nothing wrong on our side.
Sonam is now in custody, and the plot is all set to unravel even further.
There were several challenges for the Meghalaya Special Investigation Team after the recovery of Raja Raghuvanshi's decomposed body, since Sonam Raghuvanshi was missing, but they were able to crack the case in 7 days using data that they were provided in terms of the mobile phone surveillance and the eyewitness accounts from different people in that area. With bureau inputs, Ratndeep Chaudhary for NDTV.
Victim Raja Raghuvanshi's mother spoke exclusively to NDTV. She demanded CBI investigation and said that Sonam should be punished if she is found guilty. Listen in.
हमको दिखाई देती है सोनम कैमरे के सामने तो ठीक ठाक है, कोई शरीर पे चोट के निशान नहीं दिखाई देते हैं, सिर्फ चाल ढाल में कुछ सुस्तपना है, जैसे थकी हुई हो, जैसे कुछ दवाई दी गई हो। क्या सोनम के घर वाले जो हैं, क्योंकि जो लगातार बोल रहे थे कि मेघालय पुलिस का रोल इसमें संदिग्ध है, वो ठीक से जांच नहीं कर रही है, क्या आपका भी यही मानना है कि पुलिस ने मदद नहीं की वहां पे?
नहीं, पुलिस जैसे मदद कर रही है, अपन को जैसे चाहते थे ना वैसी मदद नहीं मिल रही थी।
जी, आप चाहेंगे कि अभी भी सीबीआई जांच हो?
हाँ चाहेंगे ना, क्यों नहीं चाहेंगे। सीबीआई जांच होगी तो और जल्द से जल्द पता चलेगा ना। अगर सोनम गलत निकलेगी तो उसको सजा मिलेगी, सोनम गलत नहीं है तो उसको सजा नहीं मिलेगी।
After the arrest of Sonam and the unraveling of the horrific murder tale, this is what the UP ADG had to say in an exclusive interview to NDTV.
यूपी पुलिस इस इन्वेस्टिगेशन का पार्ट नहीं है, इसलिए इन्वेस्टिगेशन को हम लोगों ने ज्वाइन नहीं किया। जितनी जानकारी हम लोगों को हुई थी सोनम से, वो सिर्फ इतनी थी कि उनके द्वारा बताया जा रहा था कि उन्हें ड्रग करके यहाँ लाया गया है। मेघालय पुलिस उनसे पूछताछ कर रही है। हम लोगों ने उनसे कोई जानकारी शेयर नहीं की, जानकारी नहीं मांगी है, लेकिन अगर उन्हें कोई असिस्टेंस की जरूरत होगी तो वो हम जरूर देंगे।
Wajahat Khan, the man who filed a police complaint that led to the arrest of social media influencer and law student Sharmishta Panoli, has been arrested by the Kolkata police. Police said that Khan had reportedly been absconding since 1st of June, was taken into custody after several raids, having failed to respond to repeated police summons. He will be produced before the court tomorrow. Well, this is the case of Sharmishta Panoli, the law student and influencer who was earlier arrested. Well, I'm joined at the moment by my colleague Shreyashi. Shreyashi, tell us, what is the police trying to get at? What kind of information they are trying to retrieve from this gentleman, Wajahat Khan?
Well, the Kolkata police has arrested Wajahat Khan, who is the prime complainant in the Sharmishta Panoli case here in Kolkata under the Garden Reach police station. What we have understood is that the Kolkata police's anti-rowdy squad of the detective department carried out raids in Howrah and Digha, and thereafter today Wajahat Khan was arrested from Kolkata from a 3-story building, and now the police, of course, will be seeking his remand tomorrow while he is presented before the magistrate. Now, the complaint against Wajahat is of promoting enmity and breaching communal peace, and he had made certain social media posts that have hurt the sentiments of a certain community. That was the complaint that was filed against him under the Golf Green police station under Kolkata police. And now the police will be carrying out investigation on those lines. And of course, the Calcutta High Court, while granting interim bail to Sharmishta Panoli, also questioned the Kolkata police on what action had been taken against Wajahat Khan. Back to you.
The launch of the Axiom 4 space mission, which includes Indian astronaut Shubhanshu Shukla as part of its crew, has been postponed to 11th of June. According to the latest announcement, initially scheduled for an earlier date, the delay has been attributed to final technical checks and mission readiness and reviews. The mission, organized by Axiom Space in collaboration with NASA and SpaceX, claims to carry out a range of scientific experiments aboard the International Space Station. This marks a significant milestone for India's presence in international space missions, as Shukla prepares to represent the country in a commercially crewed space flight.
Indian astronaut Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla will have to wait another day to go into space. The Axiom 4 mission has now been postponed to June 11th. It was earlier to lift off on June 10th at 5:52 p.m. India time. It will now lift off on June 11th at 5:30 p.m. India time. The delay is because of weather. And Axiom Space and SpaceX have announced that the weather, especially the winds in the high corridor through which the rocket has to travel to go to space, are very high and beyond the margin of tolerance of the rocket. It is for this reason that the Axiom 4 mission has been postponed from June 10th to June 11th. This is the fourth postponement of this particular mission. It was to earlier take place on May 29th. It got postponed to June 8th. Then it was pushed to June 10th. And now it has been pushed back to June 11th. There is still one backup on June 12th. Interestingly, on June 10th, a little after the Axiom 4 flight was to lift off, there is another Falcon 9 rocket which is carrying Starlink satellites, which is to lift off from the Kennedy Space Center, and that flight has not been scrubbed. It is continuing in its same duration. The reason is very clear. When there are humans in the loop, the margins are lower and very strict standards are enforced because human safety is paramount. So now Group Captain Subhanshu Shukla will have to wait another day for his mission to go to space. Group Captain Shukla is traveling to the International Space Station on a Falcon 9 Crew Dragon and is on a 14-day mission to the International Space Station.
Now, 11 people died in the stampede outside Chinnaswamy Stadium during RCB's street party post their IPL win. Now, a victim's father spoke exclusively to NDTV. Listen in.
Well, viewers, I was at the Vidhan Saudha on the day when the stampede occurred. Now, a moment of joy turned into a moment of tragedy, and one can only fathom what the families of the victims went through. Now, while I was at the Vaidehi hospital that evening, I met Mr. D.H. Lakshman, the father of Bhumik, who had lost his life in the stampede at the Chinnaswamy. He's joining us today. The pictures of him speaking about how the government didn't do enough to ensure security of those who had gathered there, didn't do enough to protect his child, and also the pictures of him rolling on the grave of his son has moved the entire country and raised a question. Has the government, has the police really done enough in this case? And true justice, is it really far away? Mr. Lakshman, thank you for joining us today here on NDTV. I just want to ask you, you have been pointing out several issues over the last, few days about how this event transpired, how security was not in place, and how your son, who has lost his life, cannot be brought back. Tell us today, do you think that justice has been done? There have been suspensions, there have been arrests, FIRs, investigations. Do you think but true justice has been done, Mr. Lakshman?
सर एक्चुअली इधर से कॉलेज के लिए गया था सुबह. ओके उन्होंने कॉलेज के बाद कॉलेज वो 11 बजे के उसको ख़त्म हो गया था. बाद में वो फ्रेंड्स लोग मिला के सीधा उधर बात करके स्टेडियम गया था. वो जाने के पहले उसका माँ के लिए फ़ोन करके बोला है वो माँ मैं स्टेडियम अभी तक नहीं देखा, उधर जाके देख के आ रहा हूँ करके बोल के गया था. बाद में उसी को मेरा बीबी ने उसको बताने के टाइम उसी का लाइन कट हो गया था. बाद में उसी को लाइन ही नहीं मिलाया था, उसीलिए उसको उधर से ऐसे ही गया था. बाद में उसको फ़ोन ट्राई किया तो फ़ोन नहीं मिल रहा था. अब आपको पता है उस दिन सेलिब्रेशन वो वो IPL मैच के रात में कितना बजे हो गया था, 11 बजे तक हो गया था. उसने कितना क्राउड उसके पीछे था, उधर कितना गैदर ही था, उसको सभी उसको पता था. वो गवर्नमेंट के लिए उसको सभी पता है कि रात में कितना वो सेलिब्रेशन कितना था, कितना बजे तक हो गया था, इधर ट्रैफिक का रूल्स कैसे था, वो सभी उसको पता था. वो ज़रूर नहीं था उधर प्रोग्राम रखने के लिए, उसी दिन प्रोग्राम रखने के लिए उधर ज़रूर नहीं था. ओके ज़रूर नहीं था उसके लिए. वो तो बाद में भी उसको वो प्रोग्राम किया था, प्रोग्राम ऑर्गेनाइज किया था. उसके बाद उसको वो उधर ठीक से वो सिक्योरिटी ठीक से नहीं, सिक्योरिटी नहीं था. उधर एक एम्बुलेंस का फैसिलिटी भी नहीं था, इसीलिए वो ऐसा ट्रेजेडी हो गया था। मैं उसी को कैसे बता सकता, मैं लड़का ऐसा लोग लड़का नहीं है, वो बहुत उसी का उसके बारे में नहीं बता सकता मैंने उसके बारे में। वो सभी को पूछिए, इधर से उसी का स्कूल से तो कॉलेज तक उसी को पूछिए वो कैसा लड़का था। वो बिना बता के नहीं जा रहा था, उस लड़कों लोग मिला के उसको लेके गया था। उधर सिक्योरिटी उतना अच्छा नहीं था, सिर्फ बाद में भी उसी का उतना लोग गैदरिंग होता है करके उसको भी पता था, वो उसके लिए अरेंज किया था करके मुझे मालूम नहीं है। वो अभी सोच रहा हूँ, अभी देख रहा हूँ, अभी देखने के बाद मुझे पता चल गया वो सब लोग के लिए, वो पब्लिक के लिए नहीं है, सिर्फ उसका फैमिली है और उसी का उसके लिए वो प्रोग्राम अरेंज किया करके मैं सोच रहा हूँ साहब जी।
लेकिन लक्ष्मण जी एक बात बताइए, अभी सरकार एक कॉम्पनसेशन अनाउंस किया है, पहले 10 लाख अनाउंस किया था, बाद में इसको 25 लाख बनाया, आरसीबी की तरफ से कॉम्पनसेशन अनाउंस हुआ है, क्या आप खुश हैं ऐसे कॉम्पनसेशन अनाउंसमेंट से?
वो कॉम्पनसेशन कुछ नहीं चाहिए मुझे, सिर्फ मेरा बच्चा था ना उसको मिला दिया तो उसका कॉम्पनसेशन मुझे, उसका भी कुछ और उसका भी ज़्यादा मुझे खुश हो रहा है ना साहब जी। मैं पता नहीं है, वो सब लोग बता रहा हो कॉम्पनसेशन दे रहा, वो दे रहा करके, अभी तक मुझे भी कुछ भी पता नहीं है साहब जी। अभी मैं गांव आए तो गांव से मेरा उसी का कार्य करके इधर बेंगलोर में आ गया था। आने के बाद तुम्हारा लोग उधर से इधर तक फ़ोन करके ही मेरे लिए पूछ रहा था साहब जी ऐसा आ रहा हो थोड़ा, इसीलिए आपके सामने बैठ के बात कर रहा हूँ, उसका बारे में कुछ भी पता नहीं है साहब जी मुझे।
Now, due to multiple safety incidents during the ongoing Char Dham Yatra in Uttarakhand, the DGCA ordered special audits. We will get to that story, but time now for a very tiny break on the show. Due to multiple safety incidents during the ongoing Char Dham Yatra in Uttarakhand, the DGCA ordered special audits and enhanced surveillance of helicopter operators. The aviation regulator in a statement also said it is reviewing the need to suspend helicopter operations to Char Dham entirely depending on the outcome of ongoing safety assessments. The move comes after several recent occurrences including emergency landings and a fatal crash. Some international news now. The city of Los Angeles is once again witnessing a wave of public protests. President Donald Trump made renewed calls to bring in the troops and declared things in Los Angeles are looking really bad after reports of looting and dozens more arrests were made. Protesters and the authorities were embroiled in violent clashes overnight, with hordes of demonstrators flocking to the streets against the Trump administration's immigration raids in the city. The first of at least 2,000 National Guard troops descended on LA on Sunday morning, less than 2 days after protests first erupted, leaving California Governor Gavin Newsom urging the president to withdraw his order.
Gavin Newsom he's daring Tom Homan to come and arrest him. Should he do it? I would do it if I were Tom. I think it's great. Gavin likes the publicity, but I think it would be a great thing. He's done a terrible job. Look, I like Gavin Newsom. He's a nice guy, but he's grossly incompetent. Everybody knows. All you have to do is look at the little railroad he's building. It's about 100 times over budget. We're putting a flagpole over there. Under budget. I always do under budget. What is your First Amendment. Come on now.
Apocalyptic scenes, burning cars, broken barricades, the air filled with tear gas, protesters clashing with the police, a city left on edge. 3 days of protests against immigration raids left parts of Los Angeles in turmoil, turning America's second largest city into the latest flashpoint of the US President Donald Trump's immigration crackdown. After a day of relatively peaceful protests, the situation in LA escalated dramatically since Sunday. Triggered by President Trump's decision to deploy 2,000 National Guard troops in a rare and controversial move to, in his words, liberate LA from the migrant invasion. However, Trump did not invoke the Insurrection Act.
Are you prepared to invoke the Insurrection Act?
Depends on whether or not there's an insurrection. No, but you have violent people, and we're not going to let them get away with it.
We're going to be watching it very closely. And when they spit at people, they spit. That's a new thing. They spit, and worse, you know what they throw at them, right? And when that happens, I have a little statement. They say, they spit, we hit.
We see you for what you are, a terrorist organization.
While the protests have mainly been limited to downtown LA, visuals show protesters and the police clashing for hours. As officers fired gas and other munitions. Demonstrators blocked key roads, tossing scooters, fireworks and stones at police vehicles, with many arrested, a scene of utter chaos.
The standoff between police and protesters is continuing here. There are flashbangs going off every couple of seconds. The police are still using tear gas and rubber bullets in a bid to try and disperse these demonstrations. You can see down on the pavement here, there are a couple of people who have just been arrested by police officers. They have their hands in handcuffs, their ankles are also bound. Police waiting for them to be picked up by a police vehicle. These protests are growing bigger. There are more people joining the protests on foot, by public transport and by car, although police have now created a perimeter around this protest.
Meanwhile, California Governor Gavin Newsom accused the president of an illegal, immoral and unconstitutional deployment of the National Guard to create what he called a spectacle, threatening to even sue the Trump administration for its move. Former Vice President Kamala Harris slammed Trump for stoking fear, while the LA mayor called the situation chaos caused by the government.
What we're seeing in LA is chaos caused by the administration. People should exercise their right to protest. That's their First Amendment right. But people should also exercise that right peacefully. We do not want to play into the administration's hands. We're working with officials, we're organizing resources, but what we're seeing in Los Angeles is chaos that is provoked by the administration.
As the US president ordered federal agencies to bring back law and order in the city, FBI Director Kash Patel said that the federal agency needs no one's permission to enforce the Constitution. Journalists too got caught in the crossfire. A British photographer needed surgery after being shot with a sponge bullet, while an Australian reporter was shot with a non-lethal round while reporting. While protesters dispersed overnight, Trump continues to demand troops on the ground, leaving a city holding its breath. With Disha Bagchi, Bureau Report, NDTV World.
Now, a disturbing video shows an Indian student handcuffed and pinned to the floor at USA's Newark airport before he was deported. The video was shared on social media by Indian-American entrepreneur Kunal Jain, who said that the youngster was crying and was treated like a criminal by the authorities.